Right, so this morning we are on the final stages of pushing my recovery truck on the road. Now, obviously when we cut it in half, we had to disconnect the brake lines, which means the brakes need bleeding. And the bleed nipples didn't want to budge from underneath. So I'm going to pull the wheels off of it. Obviously this is temporary proppy-uppiness, and we will put some axle stands underneath it in a minute. We're going to whip the front wheels off, inspect the brakes to make sure they are up to standard. This tyre's had a puncture forever, and I need to paint the wheels or do something with them once I've decided what I'm doing. So wheels off, proppiness, brake inspection, wiring, lights are ordered. Don't laugh at me, Fudgy.
I'm not laughing at you.
You are smirking at me in a stupid type of way. Side raves, wobbly flyer, wing mirror trim, which is round here somewhere, and then we are on it like a gay landed bonnet. Bled the front brakes and done some undersealing while we was there. What I'm planning on doing now, obviously when I bought this body, some retard with a forklift had ruined the side raves completely, but luckily enough, being a top quality hoarder, I happen to have these two floating around, which are totally the right length and much better quality than the ones that was fitted on there originally. So they have a little sliding bracket. We've taken the legs off one set, the other set's over there. With some short bolts that go through here on some metal plates, which I don't think I can get out, which is the general idea of them being in there. They don't come out to bolt onto here. So, obviously these ones had been ruined, so there's no point spending ages trying to undo the coach bolts that I don't need, because I've got new stainless steel bolts here. I'm just going to huzzah those off and then bolt this on there, see if it looks right. Get rid of a bit of aluminium corrosion while we're there. Look at that. She is polished. Right. Now, we're not going to worry about the dirt and the stuff that's growing off this side rave a minute, because obviously I want to try and get a slightly longer bolt through here, which might be a tad tricky. Yes, that does not work. Mind you, I suppose I could be all technical and go the other way. Bit of a pain in the hole, but might work. Otherwise I've got to go unriveting on the ends. That sounds like far too much effort for a Thursday evening. So we'll spend ages faffing around putting the bolts in round the wrong way now, which is fine, man can do that. Rather than spend ages drilling out the rivets. What they call that, time neutral, equal, I don't know. So stainless steel ones, some newts, some new newts, and in theory, if I shove that in, maybe I could just cut the bolts down a bit. That might be easier. I shall be back in a second. Right, now I have professionally adjusted on these bolts. Obviously, I didn't bother measuring the length of them, I just guessed it. Which probably means we'll have to have two goes at it. Luckily enough, I've done both bolts to make sure that they're both too short. Dropped it in here 3 times, and now I can't get it in the hole. Right, try harder. Come on, you know you want to go in there. You do. Look at that. Almost a success, not quite a success. Might need something to hit it with. If I hit it, it'll go in. Where's my hammer? Don't use Fudgy's parts, not a panel beating hammer. Oh, that is is perfect. Right. Will that go through? Oh, I reckon that will go through there. I'm going to need to hit it a bit more. Yeah. Right, that's not working quite as well this end. Hang on, let's try it from the other direction and remove some mud. That's not far off, is it? Just go in there. How difficult can it be? Perfect. Right. I've got two nuts, haven't I? There. Let's see if we can randomly wedge this on there somewhere about where it wants to be, and if I've cut the bolts long enough, I can feel the successes coming on now. Yeah, perfect length. I can actually get the nut on it. Oh. Ooh, yep. Right, we are nutted. Oh, that's one. Going to need to move dramatically forward. There's the bracket. There's the bracket. Oh. Look at that. Now, what's it got? Make sure they're the right way up, because this is the grippy side, because it's not grippy on the bottom, but it is grippy on the top. And I reckon it needs to be about there, because obviously we've got the annoying noisy ramps that come in and out, and we have to make sure that they are accessible, and some muppet has bent that post. Where is my post unbending tool? Post unbending tool acquired. I'm going to need to put some more effort. I don't have to bend it that much. Or is that my eye? That could be my eye because she sat up at... Oh, I might have to hit on that one a bit as well. That's much better. And it didn't break. Right. So we need obviously to be sort of flush off the edges this end so it doesn't look rubbish. Not sure I like the square end. Might have to change on that. And what have they broken in there? Ah, it's a good job I didn't hit that anymore because that's not attached to anything. Right. And I am obviously going to need a 13mm spanner as well, aren't I? Which I have. That's here. Have. I reckon that's about right. Perfect. Don't need on anything metal because that'll hurt. Might be easier just to go sit in here and then I can see what I'm doing. Even better. Look at that. Right, so they need to be. There's no bolts. There's some sort of top quality bird poop alley welding going on here. So we're going to need to attempt that. But work as a side rave. Look at that. Yeah. So what we're going to need to do is do the same on the other side. No point watching it twice. And then I really do with a toolbox in here. Now I have got the toolbox, but I am going to have to shave a bit out of my side rave to set it in there. Because, as you can see, that's not really going to work, is it? We'll work on that. What I have to do is cut the side rave out in the middle, and then I've got some more brackets. Make it so there's a toolbox in the middle. Well, we have the toolbox. Yeah. I think we probably have a toolbox back there. And then make some brackets for the toolbox off the body. Or be lazy, forget the toolbox, and throw all the straps on the cab floor. Not really ideal. But anyway, you get my general idea. So next on the job list. So we have some El Nuvo rear lights. Now, I have Parker's in a brilliant place for doing this. Obviously, there isn't the current nowhere to mount them. So I am assuming that one would really want them about there, just off the end. So when you drop the ramp, you don't smash your light lens. So what I don't quite know which way to go about it. What I'm considering is putting a big alley bar right across the back to pick the whole lights up, so I've got something to bolt to rather than having them on some floppy brackets. Because I've got to make floppy brackets, I might as well make a bar. So I'm going to I've got another side rave off of a lorry, which is over there. It's about the right width to mount these two, so I'm going to try and sit her back just in under the scooched under. So if you pull a ramp out, pull it right out at the end and drop it directly downwards, it doesn't take the light lens clean off, misses it just. And then mount them just behind, so that when you also back into things, this bit's more likely to hit than that bit is. Then you won't be buying light lenses all the time. Because I will back into things, I always do. Right, better get doing some description of fabricating, I suppose. So as you will have noticed, I have been installing side raves. So that's good. Yeah, that matches, that's on there. So that's about where we want. I've got some light holes drilled and some new lights, and I'm going for one on the back here.
So you're going full rave,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, full rave, like a throw some shapes type of thing. So obviously I've made a back light bar.
Yeah.
Because the back lights from it, but when I looked underneath, there were some holes where the previous light bar had been, so it gave me the idea.
Yep.
So obviously when they took that off the truck, they decided not to throw that in the deal. So I've made a new one using another side rave to hold the lights and some drop posts. They're a bit long at the moment, but they need sawing off, but they are bolted on there.
Oh, okay.
So just to sort of, as a mock-up, and then I'm thinking to have the full rave. So I'm going to go.
Actually, I like that.
I prefer full raves. I mean, obviously every time I do this, we're just adding weight.
Yeah.
But we're not worried about it. So these match-ish. I mean, this one's got 3 lines, that one's got 2. By the time I've stuck stickers on them, no one will know.
I think you're probably the only person in the entire bloody world, Al, that would notice that that's got 3 and that's got 2.
Yes, yeah, well, I didn't realise till I pulled the tape that had reflective tape on it, and then I was like, oh, well, it's done now, isn't it? But they are longer, so I can't just put 3 on one. I've got 2 of each, but that one's longer than this, so I can't just have like 3 lines one side and then no lines the other, so no one would notice.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a mix.
Mixing it up.
Mixing it up, but we're not far off, because we've done the brakes. They're all bled up. The handbrakes are fixed.
Yeah.
We've run out of the wiring clips for holding the wire into the chassis, so I've ordered some of those. Then I'm going with the white wheels.
Definitely going with white wheels,
They'll look snazzy as hell for about a week till they're all covered in brake dust and they never get cleaned again, but that's fine.
I'm pretty sure you're going to clean them out. You're going to be like...
I have to make decisions on what colour reflective tape to have. I was going to go green and white, but I think it's a bit overkill on the green.
I don't know. I actually think it would look quite cute with green and white.
Yeah, will it? Will it be too
so
much
if you green and silver, so the white's like a reflective and the green is just green.
Choice, there are a few colours you can go. Red and yellow. This is red and lemon. So I might go red and lemon. I'll go red and lemon side stripes. Red and lemon. Might be too much red and lemon.
Yeah.
I found it the world's most ridiculous bar light. That's over there. Yeah, we trusted that yesterday, didn't we? So hang on a minute. I'll go and get that. That's like That's a proper...
It's for the full-on disco effect.
It is,
with
And the centre lights might happen to be blue, but we don't know how that happened. Someone had rattle canned over them black in a previous life, So we're assuming that this must have fell off a fire engine at some point in this life.
It would be totally wrong for us to have blue.
Flash, yeah, we're going to get told off flash blue lights. So I've got that. I'm going to have to reinforce on the flyer, obviously, first, because that will just make the flyer collapse. So that's sort of in keeping with the mid to late 90s theme. And she does the dunk, 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 dunkers, and is all changeable. So that can go up there.
Yep.
Raves. Yeah, raves. And then I've got the Mercedes mud flaps, which I've forgotten I had. They're out. I'll go and get them. They're out there warming up because they're not very flexible when they're cold.
Oh, so they got the Mercedes emblem on them?
Oh, they have.
Bloody.
They were 60 quid.
How much? We'll find out how much in a minute. How much?
I bought these for the last recovery truck like 5 years ago and never got around to fit them.
Oh.
So, Mercedes lorry mud flaps.
Mercedes.
Huzzah! It's going to be technical with the Mercedes.
Yes.
So then I've got toolboxes. So I'm undecided on toolbox at the moment. So I've got 2 of these. One's massive, one's a bit smaller, like this one. So I need to put them in the middle of a rave, which means obviously one's going to have to chop the rave and then put 2 more legs on it. But we'll work that out at the time. Or put some hooks on it and mount it to a toolbox so it don't flap.
Yeah.
Or forget the toolbox and just chuck all the shit in the cab. Bloody phone again.
Yes.
Done. So, got to put a bolt through here because it's a bit wobbly on the front there. Side light, marker light, marker light, marker light. I'll have another marker light on the corner coming off the back light. That's all. As solid as it's going to be. It's not going to be ridiculously solid because obviously it's a very lightweight body. So I've just got to put a bolt in there to stop this flapping around there, which I don't like. And then basically we're on to the back light bar then. So we've got to obviously do a load of wiring and drilling and stuff because these lights are just sat here at the moment. But perfect, quite happy with that. And then we've got some mud flaps and decide whether I change the wheel.
La 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 la, blah 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 blah
Blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah flobbly wobbly. Stop wetting yourself. We're having technical troubles.
Okay.
Technical microphone based technical troubles. The top quality gear has let us down, but it's fine. I've cleaned the dirt out of the phone socket now.
Okay.
Works much better.
Beautiful.
So I am back on finishing my side braves on the other side.
Uh-huh.
So I've swapped that one that I put on earlier for this one that I've now put on now because I need to take that one to the back and then this one to the front because this one's better. After I've taken that post over there that used to be here that I'm now going to make go over there and then bolt it on. So that one that used to be here that now is there, once I bolted it on the right way up, is there in the right place.
I got all of that.
That's fine, that's good. See, and then I've only got to put this bit that used to be that bit there with that bit. So I've put that bit that used to be there over there, and then that bit that there was over there is no use anymore, so that bit's there. And if you look behind you, I have made a rear light bar. Look, YouTube people. I have, it's all aluminium. So I have put some big uprights, which I've got to rip saw off because they're a bit rippy offy at the moment, so I need to shorten on those.
Yep.
And then I have taken a lorry side rave, drilled some big holes in it, so I can get the cables through in the middle for the lights. And then I've drilled some other holes in it, extended the bolts on the lights, and bolted the lights on because we're going to go around there in a minute and show everyone my brilliance.
You've even put the caps on the end, Al.
I know. I only just broke them getting them out. I only knocked a few holes out of them. And I have made it so that when you pull the ramps out, I think they don't drop straight on the lights and knock them off.
Beautiful.
So we are feeling
Because
confident.
that'd be a bit of a bugger, wouldn't it? You put
Yes.
ka-junk.
Smash. Yes, that happens with one of the other recovery trucks. We've done that quite a few times. And you have wasted the last 45 minutes polishing a Capri prop shaft.
I have indeed. But it's going to be the best looking part on the car at the moment. Yeah. Well,
So you spent half a lunchtime ruining my lunchtime the other day with your noisy grinding wheel,
Yeah.
polishing a prop shaft.
Yeah.
And making loads of dust and snot.
Making lots of dust
And then
and
you've been
snot.
upsetting Simon doing his brakes over there, polishing your prop shaft.
yeah, just
Have
getting
you
the...
not got rust repair you're supposed to be doing, and really is the time
Well,
to well
technically,
waste.
it's kind of rust repair. It's like surfacey rust removal. And to be fair, when I lose talent and it's on its side, people are going to see that and think, well, that's a nice prop shaft.
Let's hope that doesn't happen, really.
I hope it doesn't happen now, but who knows?
You've got your racing slicks, you'll be all right.
Like racing slicks.
What?
Competition use, no less.
I know, but he didn't say on the eBay advert that they were only competition tyres. But I think, as it says, not for track use only, or not suitable for a road, but it didn't state what competition use it was. So you could have a competition run into the local spa and back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't say that you can't use them on a proper road.
Or we could have like a long competition to see who gets as many points on the licence as they
You could
possibly
have
can.
entered a competition, then that's absolutely fine. You can put them on your road car.
Yeah.
And if worse comes to worse, if we sand on that with some 80 grit, no one will ever know it was there.
Exactly.
So we'll just make those semi-racing slicks road legal.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though we've just technically dobbed ourselves into the world.
Yeah, but our users won't dob us in, will
No, they won't. They won't know nothing about that. It'll look fine.
I could just drive it on private roads.
Well, you might be driving it on private roads on your semi-slick tyres.
Yeah.
They will stick like to a blanket. They will. Till it gets a bit wet. and then they won't stick to anything. But that'll be fine. We'll just run 2 sets of tyres.
Yeah.
So, right, I'm going to make the other one of those I need to cut. Well, what I've done basically, that bit was here, right? Yeah. So that bit there was it was right, but it wasn't. So I found this bit. So I've swapped this bit for that bit, and I'm going to cut that bit off that's over there. Cut that bit off, put that bit here, and then cut that bit that used to be here down so that bit over there is now there, and then if I make it long enough, then it'll be the same as that bit over there, and I should still have that off cut that used to be over there that isn't anymore to gauge up that one. I know exactly what I'm going on about. And then I just need to weld to post on there that I've already marked up over there that I need to cut off.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
And not terribly slurpy tea, so everyone has to listen to it and belch afterwards. So after that, then I'm going to go show the people the brilliance of my new rear light bar that I've made, that I think will survive.
I think
on my lightweight aluminium body.
Yep.
Do the 3 bolts up right down here that I seem to have forgotten to do up when I was doing the chassis bolts up. Quite know how I managed that, but it won't take me 2 seconds. I think I did the ones up on the inside, but forgotten about the ones on the outside.
Ah, okay.
And then I need to go repairing on my flyer, which is going to involve attempting to weld aluminium.
Yep.
All right. And then, yeah. And I've still got to fix the chassis. The
flappy bit.
The flappy, but yeah, I'm not too worried about that. It's fine. Buy some rams. Wire the lights up. Put the flashy light bar that I've got on. Obviously, it's supply a million twinkly lights either side. Put my new lights down the side.
Yep.
And yeah, well, then we're pretty much there for a vehicle I totally don't need.
And then it's just a case of check the rest of the bits and pieces and put her in for a ticket, eh?
Yeah, then it can be sat around here because we ain't got use for it, but that's absolutely fine. It is a toy.
Daily driver.
Number's 10.
Number 10.
What else would a man do on a bank holiday weekend?
No.
I don't know. So as you can see, I have brilliantly invented a rear light bar. Ignore the drop posts because they, as I said a minute ago, have to be sawed off. So in theory, when you've hoisonged a ramp out of here, you shouldn't land on them. I'm not quite sure what could do with going back a bit, but I've drilled the holes there now, so it's staying there. They're ish tucked up out the way.
Yeah.
I may possibly make a tow bar at a later date because you sort of need a truck with a tow bar. But for the minute, and then I've got some big Mercedes mud flaps which are up there to go on, but they're going further forwards.
Yeah.
And then all I've got to do is wire all this up and then put my number plate on it.
No, it looks good, Al.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right. Yeah. So my next plan is to make that side row fit just there. I'm not going to tell you the plan again because you'll get all confused.
Yeah,
it was confusing me, to be honest.
My
brain might need a new number plate light because this one seems to have a bit of hole in it, but it may still function.
Okay.
And then I'm going to get out here with the angle grinder and cut them posts off, and then it is wiring time. Because the wiring loom is currently sat on top of the fuel tank in a big heap up there.
Yeah.
But I bought some wire and chassis ties off of eBay that look quite the right size, and when they turned up, they're about that big.
Little ones.
Well, I don't think I read the description properly. Perhaps I really ought to read descriptions before I just randomly go and buy stuff, because I whinge at people that do that to me all the time. When they turned up, I was like, oh, no, as they say. So we may have a slight shortage on chassis-based wiring ties. So I'm just going to hang it there for a minute, and then order the correct ones that were much more expensive. That I decided to try and save some money and bought some ones that look cheaper because they're only that long instead of like this big.
Buy cheap, buy twice.
Well, read the description.
Read the description.
Read the description and go. Yeah, that looks like it'll work. So that's my plan.
Okay.
So here comes lots of sawing, bashing, and stuff.
All right.
Bank holiday weekend.
Bank holiday.
Well, I suppose we better admire this polished prop shaft now that you spent ages polishing on it. I mean, that does look very, very unrusty now.
Yeah, you'd never know, would you?
No, I mean, that was...
And once it's got some paint on it, it'll be...
Well, I mean, at least you can paint it and twiddle it round and paint the other side.
Yeah, it's just deciding on what colour to do. Do I go like blue with the same colour as the bolts, or do I do it just black?
You're going to paint the bolts blue.
No, the bolts are already blue, look.
I don't know, I can't see that. It's in the dark over there. And then you have, by the look of it, hacked a rather large lump of chassis off of it over there.
Yeah, well, that bit that I thought was
reasonable.
Well, it wasn't reasonable, but I just thought it was going to be a case of cutting this piece off, which used to be sort of sat here.
Yes.
And then when I got this removed, there was a bloody great hole underneath, and I was like,
so you've got to make a bit of chassis leg to make another bit of chassis leg, put it over the top.
Yeah, so I make the first chassis leg, which comes in and folds back,
Yeah,
welds to this.
there, yeah.
And then the second piece will be
the overflow, which is that bit.
Yeah, which is that bit there, so it will kind of like be up there,
No,
around there.
that'll put some rigidity back in your Capri.
Yeah.
And then you might have this hole in the floor here to attend to.
Yeah, there's one the other side.
Well,
not quite, it's almost there, so I've got to cut the rest of that out.
Yeah.
And then, I'll do that from inside as opposed to from underneath.
That's the last bit on that side
That's
at the
the
front.
last bit on this bit, yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got to go and deal with that slightly rusty bit down there.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to go and fit side raves. Side raves, side raves.
Side raves.
Side raves. Next thing to sort out. Have got the bit of broken flyer. That should be welded on here. I'm going to have to try and find, because they're pretty battered and quite thin, and there's another bit of broken flyer there. Or are we just wasting our time? And I should fold some big bits of box or something up, or metal of some description, to go here to allow us to bolt this back together again. And there are bits of broken aluminium everywhere. I'm going to try firing up the alley spool gun, seeing as it's clamped to a truck and we're outside. I think the TIG welding will work. And handily, they're welded to the truck. Or, I still really want a flyer, so I don't really want to have to cut it off completely. There's another bit of broken aluminium there, which is broken off of that bit down there, and then there's another bit broken off over there, so it's going to be one of those. But we have, as you've seen, finished the side rave and the rear light droppers. Hack them off with the rip saw, work perfectly. It's quite pleasant here. Did have to put my jumper back on because it was getting a bit cold, but we are sort of getting somewhere. Just trying not to lose all these bits of aluminium, because the trouble is that aluminium has to be really clean to weld it. And it's not terribly handy when clamped to the side of a recovery truck. Come up with a better plan. Do like a bit of side rave. So basically, I've cut some brackets. What I'm going to do is have a bit of a clean up. I've bent on these to make the angle a bit. I'm going to put two big lumps of this inside of here. So screwed and bolted here, and then screwed and bolted down through the top. After cleaning the nasty aluminium welding off of it, and then basically I will get some bits of plate in a minute, aluminium obviously, and cut myself some reinforcing brackets here to stop it doing that as well. So that there, drill a load of holes. I've made one for the other side over here. So I have 2 of them, so basically like that, and then I can drill this, bolt it on, bolt the bits that were hanging off of it back on, and put some reinforcing bits on here so it shouldn't happen again. Sounds like an epic plan to me. Why I'm being still slightly wobbly because I haven't made the brackets. That works a treat. I'll make the corners, I'll take the corners up now. I can sort of bolt it together, and well, now it's bolted together. Tidy that up so I make it all as one. I'll do that in the next couple of weeks. And I'm going to put some brackets across here to stop it doing the wobbly jobbly. That'd be marvellous. Ta-da! Got to line the door gaps because that one's hideous. But, yeah, posh. Still got a million lights to plumb up, and the back lights to wire. And obviously, it's still, I'm going to have to put some bracket, make these brackets, it's a bit wobbly. But look at that. Proper retro. I mean, that beacon's about the same age as the truck. And it does like the stroby stuff. Got the full range of side rails, so that's good. Nice and solid. Little bit wobbly here because we've got to put another bracket in going that way with some mud flaps on it. But I am chuffed. Right, we're going to leave the truck here a minute. What I am going to show you, we've got a, well, it's a new sales thing. So Terry, Transit Terry from Germany, has had to slim down the Ford collection. So I've got a Ford. I mean, it's a 90s, might be a 2000s Ford actually, commercial, which we're going to spiff up next week with the polishings and the make it look pretty and stick on eBay so you lovely people can buy it. So what I'm going to do in a minute is go and get my top quality Ford and bring it here, which will be over there because you'll be looking that way by the time. You're thinking it's an escort van. 51 plate escort van. Now, you may be thinking I've completely lost the plot here, but I haven't. So, one, these have all disappeared because we beat on these, like Mark III's have gone, can't buy one of them. I had a Mark III, loved them, I had lots of Mark III's and Mark IV vans, cut my teeth on them. I did have some Mark V's, but I never could find one of these. You're like, it's a Mark VI escort van. No, it's not. One, it is a 55, but this is a Mark VI 55. Ooh. Dun, dun, dun. It's like it's a 1.8 diesel, you've lost the plot. No, it isn't, it's a 1.8 turbo diesel. No one clicked the turbo option. This is the fast one of the escort vans. So 1.8 turbo diesel. Admittedly, the car did have an intercooler and some different stuff, but you could put that on. Ultimately tunable. I mean, no one's ever been at this. This still has its pump protection plate on the back. I have not owned this, so no one has been the fuel advancing screw. So you could knock that off and tweak her right up. They go like off a stick. I had one of these, it was my father's and I ruined it. On an L car estate, 1.8 turbo intercooled diesel, had the intercoolery bit just there. 0-60 in 9 seconds. New, fast. And no one bought the van. Because turbo diesel escort vans, you didn't want to go giving them to the staff. They'd crash it. So, It is structurally sound, it is MOT'd, it might be a bit on the faded side of things. Works perfectly, yes. I must admit, I prefer a Mark 5 to a Mark 6, but you could cure that by changing that bit if you wanted to. Noisy, annoying car alarm in the background. So what we are going to do, I'm going to have to wait for the noisy, annoying car alarm to go off. I don't think that's one of ours. I mean, it could be. I'll turn the camera off and go and have a look. No, it isn't one of ours. So, what we are going to do, because these are ceasing to exist. So everyone threw away Mark 4 escort vans because they weren't worth the world. No, you can't buy one though. I mean, the Mark 3s are like gold dust. So I think appreciating future commercial classics, here we are. Turbo diesel ones, there weren't hardly any. So it's not beaten to death. We'll give you a bit of a tour in a minute. It's not horribly rusty. I don't like the wheels. Apart from that, what it needs is the wider steels was the hubcaps that the cars had. And a bit of a sprucey, but it's got a current MOT. It drives quite nice. It has basically been fairly unmolested. Now, we'd love to say that it was like the one owner Minty. Might have had another one in front of the owners, might have like had 11 of them, but that's fine. I mean, it's what it is, isn't it? You have to put up with this, and someone has changed the stereo, because I always quite like the Mark 6 Tommy 2 knob stereo with a big twiddly thing on it, but that's gone. But I have got one. So Wednesday, or hopefully this Wednesday, we're going to go shining and polishing on this, see what we can make of it. And then we're going to put it on eBay next week, so one of you lucky people can buy it if you want. I mean, that is a wood screw holding the wood wing trim or sort on that. But they have gone, being on a more serious note. And they are quite cool old vans, and they don't make anything like this anymore. I mean, you have Transit Customs, they're horrible. I mean, I was never a great fan of Transit Connects. I'd much rather have an escort van. So I think this spammed up, your name down the side of it, is quite fast. Well, for an escort van. Be cool. And the one thing that it has above all modern Ford diesels is that these stay working. So this has done about 104,000 miles. As you can see, it is a turbo, big turbo, just in case you didn't know, turbo. The only thing that ever killed these was if you didn't do the cam belt. This one appears to have been done at 85k. I couldn't quite tell you when that was. They are dead simple. There is nothing complicated in here at all. It has a throttle cable. So if it won't rev up, the throttle cable is broken. It does have an annoying security thingy on here for the fuel pump stop, but if that ever goes wrong, you just change it, take the thingy, cut the wires off, put a electric feed to it, 12 volts, brum, done. And the fact it's still working. I mean, the most complicated thing it has is an airflow meter, and it did have one of those exhaust gas recirculation valves, but someone has disconnected that. Good idea. Let's not get into the arguments about this. So this, next week, we'll get sprucey in on this, and then we'll go for a bit of test driving. It does appear to have a bit of gaffer tape, or I think that actually is masking tape holding the radiator bleed in. We may have to have a look at that. It doesn't seem to be leaking, but I don't really view that as a quality repair. So, if you want to own a Mark 6 Escort turbo diesel van without 1 million miles on it, that isn't beat to death, isn't rusty, future, commercial, classic, they're cool. I like them. Right, we're going to go and have a look at a colour. So, the Ariba car is in workshop. You'll notice there's no big blue Sprinter parked there because we've sort of finished the steel work, that's prime that. She is out for the minute. We're going to paint that in a minute, so we might chuck that on just for a laugh. Obviously, we're going to do a load of painting because the Kangoo is behind and we have decided on a colour, but we're not telling you till we've done it. So next week is the start of Ariba car, Renault traffic, welding, escort van fettling. We have got an American thing coming, so we'll let start, and a few other things. So thank you very much for watching our stupidity, and we will see you Wednesday. Al 60 Diesels.